Philadelphia South, Clarksboro, KOA, and we're just a little bit over the river, I guess you'd say, east of Philadelphia. So we're going to see what the Brotherly Love place has to offer here. I'm told they're not exactly high on brotherly love. So let's find out. The interstates were a zoo getting here. Oh my gosh. They only had to come 87 miles from Houston, Delaware to get here. But those interstates are insane. Oh my gosh. What can I say? You got to do what you got to do to get here. So this is a typical KOA. Well, maybe a little atypical. A lot of them are just no trees. This one does have trees, but a lot of people. I'll take a picture of the campground map and show you what that looks like. There's a little water park down there, a pond. No swimming, I'm sure, but maybe some fishing for the kiddos. Okay, see a sprayer going over there. There's some bathrooms over here behind us, and I'm sure they're quite clean. KOA has a little better standards than most to keep your KOA status. So let me take a picture of the campground here. I'll show you where we're at. So here's the map. We came in here. Off over this way is Philadelphia, and then our campsite is pull through right there. So all the amenities seem to be here. We'll find out. I'm not usually very big on KOAs at all. A lot of money for very little that we're going to use. However, I won't say too much because there is a laundry over there, and that beats going into town if they're not too dirty, and we can use those. So most of this, I think, is going to be about the sights around here to see, guys, because this is nondescript. I mean, there's nothing magical about it or captivating, so it's KOA. What can I say? We'll see as we go. We just came from inside this structure here. You have to go in down at that end, security check, just like you're going on an airplane, to see the Liberty Bell. And then next we're going to go right over here, and we're going to check out Independence Hall. Boy, there is so much to read here. It is insane. It would take a long time. Well, we're inside to go take the tour in the Independence Hall. There are a ton of people here. This is Monday. I can't imagine what it would be like on a weekend, Saturday or a Sunday. Well, maybe it's closed on Sunday, I don't know. This is quite the area. Let's see if I can get a picture of this for you. This is Independence Hall, and then of course my hand is right in the way, but what you gonna do? And while you're in the area, this is about 40 minutes away. It was pretty easy to get here if you look at Google Maps and then turn on your GPS. It'll get you here in the right lanes. Valley Forge. And we're going to take the auto tour and go around. Gorgeous day today. So it's another thing you need to add to your list if you're staying at that Clarksboro KOA. Just got through the film, which was really good. Wow, Valley Forge, quite a struggle. And then there's a the visitor center here. We're going to go through the exhibits here and read all the information, and then we'll take a driving tour around the area. So we'll get all that done today. Very interesting, very nice. Stuff I forgot in school. So we're over here at the City of Huts. And if you'd like to read some of that, help yourself. These are the huts that the troops built. They had built 2,000 of these here. It was the 4th largest city in the state. 11 to 13 men would stay in these huts, and they had bedding racks all along here, maybe 3 deep and 3 high, 2 to 3 high. But they did have shelter over their heads, and they had at least shelter from the snow, wind, and rain. But it was a miserable 6 months. This is the National Memorial Arch at Valley Forge, and this is, we couldn't figure out the parking until we finally got up here, and it's on another side than we thought. Boy, it is really gorgeous up here. We're doing the driving tour. So here's the house we just went through, and they've reconstructed this as close to original as they could. So up to 25 people would have been in that house at any one time. Later on came the train station up there, where there's some good information and videos up there. This is really awesome down here. Of course, it wouldn't have looked like this during the encampment because there were no trees at all. They were all cut down. Nothing out here but grass. This was probably George Washington's room here at Valley Forge, and he slept in a separate room from Martha Washington, and she followed him to all of the encampments that they went through during the war. And I'll show you if it shows up here. Martha's room, which is a similar size, same size. And then on this end would have been some of his military entourage. Not much room. I'm not sure if 2 people slept in there or not. Well, today we decided to come about 30 miles southwest to Fort Mott State Park. It's one I did check online to see if they had any camping, but they didn't. But anyway, it's actually a historic park that they used to defend the channel out here, the bay. And these are the spot of 2 5-inch guns that raised up out of the wells up there, and then they could fire all the way around 360 degrees, while these down here were 10-inch guns, and we'll walk down there, that could fire up to 14 miles. I think it was about 14 miles away with accuracy. So they were never used, of course. They were built after, I think, the Spanish War, U.S.-Spanish War. So this is really interesting. It's just an easy drive down here, and what a beautiful day. This is up the top of the 5-inch rapid-fire guns. They have a little park over here, look like picnic area and playground area, and parking over here. And they did have a commanding view of the river, for sure. Then the 10-inch guns are on over there. We'll go up on one of those. So this area here is where the 5-inch guns would be lowered into the ground on down in, so you couldn't see them. enemy couldn't see them. Then they would bring them up and fire. They could fire 360 degrees. But this is the only area that an invading army could get in, because over here is a moat and a real tall mound of dirt that's grown over now, but it forced them to come around this way to get into the fort. So these guns protected that area, because the 10-inch guns could only fire a limited angle. This is gorgeous. This is one of the bay areas of the 10-inch guns. They could actually be fired 2 shots every minute, so they worked pretty fast. But there's a large hole down in the center that had a weight on it that when it dropped, they would release it. It would raise the gun up so they could fire. And then the recoil from the gun when it was fired, the artillery, helped to bring it back down. And then they would bring it back down. The enemy couldn't see the gun at all, and they would reload it. So quite ingenious. A lot of concrete here. Whoa. They did maintain a pier out there, so if in the event the camp was overrun, they could bring boats and craft over here to load up the civilians and the military and get them to safety. So Philadelphia is up this way, upriver. So quite the deal here, quite the deal. They really had a view here. So reading this over, the batteries, there were 3 10-inch guns off over this direction, and then 3 12-inch guns along this direction here. So just want to clarify that. Oh, and the wharf, or pier if you will, was actually used to bring in a lot of construction material to build everything here too. So it served a double purpose. So when was this built? This was built after the Civil War, and they actually built 3 of these fortifications around the Delaware River. And they actually were not completed until 1890, and then never did fire a shot except a practice shot. So we were well defended, however. That's the time period for you.